Welcome back to Week 4, Part 2 of Destiny Horizon. Yurg, the commander, he's on the comms. And I'm just going to kind of fast forward through this a little bit because I don't think this roleplay is that important, but I'm going to say that you fill him in on what you know. Grakaza's sleeping. For the first time, he's gone to sleep. So, Grakaza, when you wake up, I'm going to allow half of your strain to be removed. And I also want you to recover 5 more wounds. So you fill him in on what's going on, and he says, well, if you want to come up with the shuttle, you can. You can refuel, or if you need to get anything from the ship, you can do that. But, Yurg, I want to find out as much about these people as I can. I need you to build a network. Can you do it?
Build a network. This can be done, yes. More information on how you want this network to work would be...
I was told by them, I'm not supposed to ask that question. He's referring, of course, to the Bothan Spynet.
Then I know the inner workings I need to do. Understood.
You know,
is there anything else, Commander?
No, we'll try to keep the peace up here. These civilian ships need they need to be talked to. Unfortunately, all the civilian representatives they have aren't even actually people of political government. Most of the senators and governors of the planet were destroyed. So, I don't know. I'm at a loss. I don't know anybody that we could use as an envoy for the civilian fleet.
And just because it's the way he's saying that, it's something that I didn't reveal. The one who took the Imperial vessel is actually one of Eftachui Valerie.
Oh, shit.
Her and scientists that we are aboard their ship were actually trying to... I don't understand the full workings of their reasoning when they could have just asked. But they said something...
very impulsive, apparently. Well, her ship has been messaging us the entire time you were gone. I believe it's the Folly.
That is where I am at now, yes.
The Folly is the larger ship, by the way. You're just in a shuttle.
Oh, the shuttle. Okay, never mind.
The commander of the Folly is injured pretty badly and has been requesting to speak with Valerie.
Well, I'm trying to get communications to our special ops team and information from...
Special ops?
It is better that you do not know, sir, for possible deniability.
Understood.
Those are my boys.
He says, understood. Just make sure this one doesn't bite me in the ass. And
if you don't know about it, how can it?
Exactly. That's a good point. Listen, the Rook's Array, you all need rest. Get some rest. Find somewhere to be. We'll figure this all out. We can figure out the repairs one day at a time, but for now, get some rest.
Rest, sir? Didn't we just sleep yesterday? Or
you want
earlier?
To call that sleep. Listen. I need another Praxis 4. I need another clean win. Get it for me. We've taken a casualty count. We've lost 250,000 soldiers.
This information is not good, but I will pass it along to Lieutenant Reed. He is much more vised in tactics than I.
Well, then you could pass this off to him as well. Out of 72 fighter wings in the entire fleet, only 12 remain.
Yes, sir.
He nods. Carry on then, and it cuts out.
It is disappointing news. And I'm not understanding where Kaza's at the point. So, Kaza, and I'll look back and I'll be like,
the woman with the glasses, she raises her eyebrows and says, he went to the infirmary.
Good. So if I was asked where he was, I would not have known where he was. So good.
Thank you. And then after the awkward silence, she's just like,
Wait,
And
was I
then walks
talking?
away.
Networking. Okay. Praxis 4. We need another one. Only 12 ships remain, and I am saying this out loud, like as I'm trying to jot it down, and then I'll start working with trying to get the signal working with the three wise men.
Yeah, so you're working on that. Why don't you roll a computers for me, or a skullduggery, entirely your choice. If you use skullduggery, the difficulty will be 3. If you use computers, the difficulty will be 4.
So 50-50 or 40-60.
Yeah, why don't you make a roll for me?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll do.
Oh, wait.
Or...
Before you do,
okay.
Could you just,
Yep.
mark a difficulty or an upgrade on the other side? So do your 3 difficulty. Oh, there you go. Actually, you use computers. Yeah, that's perfect. You still succeed. I think the strain is that the ship systems, they're being pushed to their brink, and it's going to cause some communication hazards for you on down the line. So anytime communication is being made from the ship, you take a setback.
Okay, and it makes sense because I am putting more voltage into the signal like I did on the Destiny.
Right, and
so,
this isn't a capital ship, it's a tiny little shuttle, so yeah, absolutely. Maybe some warnings go off and the comms officer is like, what do I call you, sir? What do I call you?
Not late for dinner.
Oh, not late for dinner. We're having some energy fluctuations in the conduits. We've had a few of them spring. Maybe the mechanics can take a look at it, but our communications might not be as effective.
Yurg will do fine. I know. Yeah. I'm diverting energy, raising the voltage so I can get the signal out, so I can talk to the rest of the team that you are not aware of.
Oh, interesting.
It is above your pay grade.
He's like, why am I asking these questions? He's got this look of Jesus. Meanwhile, the screen wipes, and we are coming down the steps of what looks like a giant town hall, but now you know it must be the law enforcement's headquarters. There's a few helipads centered around the back that you guys can now see now that you're taking a look, and it's got a bunch of craft on it. So that must be where all of the law enforcement's vehicles go. There must be a motor pool in the back. But yeah, you guys are coming down the steps towards the taxi, and Johnson's standing at the side of the taxi, smiling. He's a protocol droid, so he's like, Creed! No. He's sitting there and he's like, welcome aboard! And he motions to the taxi. Now, the taxi looks like it's been through hell already, even though you haven't crashed into anything, because of that deep descent that you guys did in the last round. There's dark burns coming from the engines where you can tell that they were just going way too fast. Oh, ma'am. Of course, I forgot my gentlemanly instincts. Johnson, from what I hear, was a gentleman. And he kind of goes up the steps a little bit and extends his hand for Valerie's hand.
You're fine. We're just waiting for Lieutenant Reed to come out.
Oh, of course. Well, it was an interesting conversation we had nonetheless. I didn't know science was so interesting.
It has its moments.
Definitely. And this seems like a mission where it's going to have more moments than not.
Oh, this is true. Who knows what's going to happen?
Wow-wee!
Who's saying
A voice
that?
from behind you calls out. You look over and you see, this planet does have humans, but not a lot of them. And you see...
I can understand what he's saying, or is he saying it in a...
He just said, wowee.
Oh, okay. That could mean anything.
And you look over, and there's a guy in a brown uniform, like it's almost like a jumpsuit, and he's picking trash up off the steps, and he's got this big, thick black mustache, and he's wearing what looks like a ball cap, and he's like, "Hey, Chotana, trying to find out ha."
I look at Tiddles.
Says, "What a hottie!" Excuse me for saying.
Tell him thank you.
Oh, you speak basic.
Yeah, you do too.
Ah, yes,
I'm
the commissioner
surprised.
thought it was very important for all of us to learn it. It's very
Really?
simple, boring
How long has the
language.
commissioner been commissioner?
Let's see, since I was a kid, so it must be like 40 years.
Wow.
Oh God, I just said my age. Now you're not interested in me at all. He says
I have
his beer belly rolls as he laughs
I,
and
I
continues to pick
just
stuff up.
smile and tell him, "Oh, you." And then, so I have another question.
Oh,
How,
you.
who was the commissioner? How did he become the commissioner? I mean, who was the commissioner prior? Do you know that?
Oh, well, he joined the police force as any cadet would.
Oh,
He was a little
okay.
older, but he became a detective, and when the other commissioner retired, he took a spot.
All right.
It's good, because the other commissioner was a Vadu. Huh.
What's the Vadu?
You don't know what a Vadu is? You're
Oh.
a foreigner, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, Vadus have 9 legs. They have a round little body that's suspended in the middle of their 9 legs. Actually, their 9th digit's not really a leg as much as it is a hand. But they're very, very slow speaking.
Oh. Okay.
They communicate
Interesting.
with the waves in the air. I don't really understand it, but everybody could understand him. That's why he was such a great commissioner. He could interrogate anybody. Except for the fact that it was like, "Hi, I'm commissioner." Oh man!
So he
That's
didn't
what you
need
said.
he didn't need any kind of translation device. He literally was a translation device.
Yes, in fact, his entire species is known for their linguistics.
That's very interesting.
When,
Hmm.
actually, when the current commissioner, when he took over, he was very interested. Our old commissioner was interested in Malin, and Malin was very straightforward, spoke a different language. The commissioner learned it quick and then made it mandatory that everybody else learn. An educated force is a good force.
I agree.
What do I know about education? He picks up a thing of trash and dumps it into the bag and grumbles.
You seem to know quite a bit, so obviously you do have some sort of education.
Oh, well, now
So I
you're
wouldn't
just
discount
flattering me.
yourself.
He pulls his hat off and he's got a bald spot in the middle of the back of his head and he's running his hands through his hair. He's like, "So, where are you staying? A hotel, or are you planning on staying a while?"
We have a ship in orbit.
In orbit.
You know,
That's weird. Outsiders aren't allowed on the beacon if they have a ship.
I think we had some special dispensation.
Interesting. Well, if you need anything, he pulls out a business card and hands it to you. My family owns an apartment complex nearby here. It's in the good part of town. I don't want you to think these are shanty towns. But just give me a call and let me know.
I will. Thank you. Kindly.
He greases his mustache. Absolutely. And gives a click and a wink and then turns around and continues picking up the trash.
So I'll look at the card. Can I? Is it in basic or is it in whatever their language
It's
is?
whatever their language is.
Fiddles.
All of a sudden you hear Tittles go pom 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 pom, and on your arm pad it says, "What a fine specimen of your species. You must be pleased."
Interesting. Okay. So just wait for Corin.
Yeah, Corin comes out of the town hall not shortly after, just in time to see you having a conversation with somebody.
So Valerie's
in
motioning to him like this.
Oh. So the moment you see the
Here.
guy turn around, the guy's looking at her like, and walks away, and she's like, "Ooh."
Corin will meet up with her.
Listen, I think there's going to be some problem. We can't go back to the Destiny Horizon. I think they've all lost their mind. I think it has to do with all that smoke that came out of the Sith pit. I think it's done something to them. Why else would that one shoot you? And why else would the rest of them have? They just seem to have lost it. I mean, they shot us down. They didn't even let me. Didn't even let me try and call. They just shot us. So something must be up.
Gas mask
got
I
to-
was wearing had Imperial signatures. I was on an Imperial shuttle, so he shot me for that.
Oh, what the?
My fault. They shot you because you were escaping out of Imperial shuttles while we still had active TIE fighters in the air.
There's something else that's wrong with that. I just can't understand they would just automatically do that.
It's
Well,
just
hopefully they
protocol.
haven't tried to shoot the ring, so maybe something has happened.
You know, we aren't all savages.
All of a sudden, the protocol droid sitting in the taxi, his head turns around and goes, "I'm charging you by the minute."
Why are we going in this? I mean,
Huh.
is there another way that aren't we going on a ship to go up, not in a taxi? I mean,
Well, the ship to go up is the shuttle, and they have it right now, sir. So I was going to drive. back
actually,
to
she's
the-
asking Corin.
Oh, not me. Oh, sorry. Sorry, sir. I stepped out of line for a private. Ugh. The taxi part of this body is totally messing up my programming.
Why don't you just relax for a few minutes?
He says agreed, and he turns on the music and turns it up while his fare meter is still ticking.
So, Corin, where are we supposed to go?
Well, let me look at those permits, see if there's any place that we can stay in them.
Yeah, I'd say you guys spent about 5 minutes looking at the permits. Nothing as far as where you can stay. Just, oh yeah, you're allowed to go up to orbit and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
Well,
tax.
can we contact them now? If we've got communications, we should be able to call them and they can come down and get us.
If you have communications, yeah.
I got my comm link. I can try, but depending if they're out of orbit by now, may not work. But I'll try.
All right, Tittle, see if you can do something. You can help him.
All right, Corin, you buzz on your comm link. What do you say?
I'll say Rook's Array. This is Rook Actual coming over.
Krakaza, you're woken up by something in your comm link chirping at you, and you hear Rook's Array. This is Rook Actual. Over. You hear that as well, Yurg. And I'm going to say, Valerie, that they were smart enough to give you a comm link as well.
Oh,
We're just going to bypass that nonsense now.
I kind of swatted the bandolier on my chest, like clumsily looking for my comm link, and then I pull
And
it
then
up
you
for-
remember it's in your ear, because that's how he described him last time. You're like, oh, yeah.
This is Grikaza.
You all right?
I just woke up. So, what do you need, Lieutenant?
Come and get us. I yell into his
Val?
face.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We left. Yeah. Oh. Still a bit
yeah.
woozy from the stim pack.
It's
Oh,
all right.
dear.
We got we got permits, and we have a possible meeting with some lenders so that we can get all the ships fixed. So we can probably meet you guys outside of town.
Excellent.
Okay,
I did receive the permits, but
The crazy
I
one.
still see the enforcement still outside, and they haven't detached their cable from us.
Oh shit! All right.
Tell them to detach their cable. Right.
If you can get communications to them and let them know about the permits, they should let you go.
I have been doing everything I can to even get the three wise men, and I don't think these guys understand how radio works, because I'm not getting through to them. Anything I try, they just kind of like, well, if I could see their faces probably staring blankly into mine.
Three wise men are on reconnaissance, so they won't hit communications with us until they feel that it won't be listened in on.
Oh, well,
Reed, I want to
them-
give you a boost die for noticing that on your next military, tactical, or leadership check.
well, I wasn't really talking about them. I'm talking about the ones across the chasm or over there or across. I'm talking about them, the ones I'm looking at. They haven't really done anything no matter what I do.
Okay. Give me a bit and we'll figure that out.
And, well, also, they're trying to get in contact with Valerie that's with you. And I believe, well, I will not say that, but they're, and the folly, they're needing her attention or to call them. But that's up to you if you want to let that happen.
Well, if we can get back to Destiny Horizon, then that would work the best.
Yes, well, there's definitely something going on up there as well. But we have to try to do what we have to do down here, so when we get up, we have all the good news that we possibly can return with.
Well, me and Valerie can't sleep on the street, so
we can have the shuttle come down, or somebody come down and get us.
Tittles goes bop, 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 and holds the business card up.
Oh, God. No, I don't want to stay on this planet anymore.
How did you get down, if I may ask?
walked.
Well, if they detach their cables from us, I would let me know that I have permission to travel freely. If you can pass me your not coordination, pass me your location, I can probably be able to find you. But I can't really leave if I'm attached to this other vessel.
As he's doing this, he's going to look at the business card and grab it and look at it. And be like,
Yeah, it's just a picture. You see a building with multiple rooms on it. It looks almost like a hotel of some sort, but there's just a bunch of garbled font on there.
yeah. Well, okay. If you guys can try again to get in contact with those guys that are holding you to get them to let you go, get up to the Destiny Horizon. Me and Valerie are going to stay here another day because I'm about to fucking pass out. And we'll get in contact with you in about 8 hours.
Very well, Lieutenant. Contact in 8 hours. I will be ready for this. And do what you have to do. And again, the more good news we can give, the better. Something I was supposed to tell you as well. And well, the commander did say we needed another Praxis 4. So strategy would come into plan. We're not sure where we're at. And on the other bad side, I know it's going to add to your stress, but good. This is what leadership is, huh? We have 12 remaining ships. Now, what kind of ships were they again? They were
Fighters.
the fighters. Okay, that's what I wrote here. I just wasn't sure. We have 12 remaining fighters of the 72 we did have. Just something to that you needed to know that I didn't need to know.
All right, Yurg. Well, talk to you in 8 hours, and then he's going to shut off his comm link.
Where to, sir?
Right
Johnson
now,
says from
nowhere.
the taxi.
Tittles, here, you can speak to these people. See if you can contact the ship that's connected to the shuttle to let them go so they can land here and we can get the hell off this crazy planet.
Bop, 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 bop. Why don't we just ask the commissioner?
That's what I was thinking. So she just kind of pushes aside poor Lieutenant Reading. She's
Tittles
going into
is
the
like,
building.
Yeah, so you walk back up the stairs.
Yes.
You see the commissioner as you walk in. You know, there's a bunch of people moving about. The offices are in the middle. The commissioner's speaking with a bunch of law enforcement, and he's getting a cup of coffee at one of the stations. To get to
Just
him,
kind of
you will
waving
have to
over.
walk around the secretary's counter and then
Okay.
walk up to him, or you can try to get his attention otherwise.
She's going to kind of walk past first and
Or walk
as
around.
directly as directly as possible.
You walk around, the secretary's like, ma'am, what are you doing? And the
I'll
commissioner
be right. No problem. Don't worry.
The commissioner looks back as you walk around the secretary and walk into the police officer's office, and he's like,
I'm sorry. This
guys,
isn't-
and
I don't
you hear
mean
him
to-
go, chick duck duck, chick duck, and they nod and they walk away. Yes,
It's really imperative that I get up to my ship, my science vessel. Apparently, the commander is injured, and they're requesting me to come up right away. But unfortunately, the one ship that we have here that could pick me up
foul,
is connected to another ship.
Listen, hey, what do you need? Do you need?
I just need to get up to my ship. Myself and the droid.
What's the
Lieutenant
ship?
Reed.
What's the ship that you're trying to use to
It's
get
called
up to
the
your ship?
Folly. It's this one here. I'll get the
That's
pad
the one
and-
that you showed me. That's not in our
Yes.
orbit. What ship did you use to? What are you going to use?
This
to fly
one
up there?
here.
Are you gonna,
I need this
thank
shuttle.
you. He takes the
Thank
shuttle. He turns around and walks away from you, and he whispers something. Oh yes, it looks like they're detained. I'm going to let them go. Yeah, I already sent it. There we go. Thank
She
you.
goes
Is
up
there
to him and she
anything else
kisses
I
him
can-
on the cheek.
Okay, yeah, you kiss him on the cheek, and he doesn't flinch. He just kind of lets it happen.
She's just relieved. Finally, something is happening. So then she's hurrying out to. She goes, "All right, Tiddles. Now here, contact."
Oh, and Valerie,
Yes.
I have a secretary for the reason. Please don't walk around the counter again. And he turns and
Oh.
walks away.
I'm sorry. I was desperate and I wasn't thinking properly. Forgive me. And she hurries out.
He kind of stops, looks down his coffee, and goes, I'm getting too old for this. Sets his coffee down and says, I'm going out for the day. And everybody nods.
So,
And he
as-
grabs a jacket and Valerie, wait.
What?
And you see him slipping a jacket on, and he zips it up and starts walking with you down the stairs. Mr. Reed, you see her approach out of the building, and attached to her arm is the commissioner.
All right, here we go again.
Call the shuttle. They're letting them go and they can come down and get us. Now. They can get us now.
He's gonna be like, excuse me, Commissioner, can I talk to her for a minute?
All right, before you talk to her, we're going to cut over to Yurg and Grakaza. Yurg, one of the people excitedly on one of the comms, says, Sir, the tether's been released. Sir, I can't hear you. Laryngitis? No, you're muted.
Yeah, I am. Sorry. Now, did I get the a communication of his location?
Yeah, I mean, it won't be hard for you to find because of the comm links.
Okay. Or did you, because I know he said something about get out and go to the ship. So what was, and I just happened, so I'm sorry if I don't remember the actual order from.
Oh, he was saying that you should
From
go back
Reed.
to the Destiny Horizon and wait 8 hours, but you also remember the commander saying don't come back unless you got some news.
Conflicting orders. Love
Well,
it.
according to your tree, commander overrules the lieutenant, so...
Oh, yeah. I get it. And so, then I'll go on the comms and say, Lieutenant Reed, excellent. They have let go of the tethers. What is your location? I cannot return back to the Destiny Horizon without good news. And so far, we only have one set of good news that they know about.
So, just real quick, Koran, you're pulling Valerie away when you get this comm, but do remember there is a flight pad where you guys originally split off, where the two of you decided to go and the shuttle decided to leave. You could meet back there if you would like.
Okay, I'm gonna pretty much tell Valerie we still have the three wise men here. So you and Tiddles go back to the landing pad and meet up with the shuttle. I'm gonna stay down here so I can get some more information because that's what we need right now.
Fine.
Then you and Yurg and Grakaza figure out what you guys are gonna do. Because I can't leave the three wise men here on this planet alone, especially since
Where are they at?
it's better that we don't know.
Oh, God. All right.
I have to admit, the prospect of leaving the three of them alone on this ring world is pretty scary.
Oh,
I feel like
all right.
if the directive is come back with good news, that's not going to happen with them alone.
So if you need to have Johnson take you, I'll stay here, and I'm going to try to get some more information out of the commissioner.
You hear from behind you. I'm wearing you down, Lieutenant Reed. He points at you and continues listening to his music, bobbing his head.
All right. So come on, Tiddles, let's go. Thank you. And thank you again, Commissioner.
You're most welcome, Valerie. And he bows.
And she smiles.
Lieutenant Reed, come in.
That's, oh,
And I'm still
One
trying
second,
to.
Yurg.
Oh, information. It did get to you. Good. Wasn't sure.
Val's coming to you at the landing pad that we landed at first.
And for you?
I'll let you know when I figure something out.
Did it not be better if we figure it out as a group, as we've always done? And I don't need to remind you of how our minds work together when a friend of mine, something I'm not going to speak much more about, but you know.
You go on that angle, I'm going on a different angle.
But we did it together. That's the angle I want to work with.
He's going to step away a few paces so the commissioner doesn't hear anything.
The commissioner just closes his eyes.
Yeah. Yurg, we want good news. So I want you, Valerie, or you and Gurkaza to look in on the saboteur angle. I'm looking in on this angle so that we can get information to deal with the lenders that we're possibly going to be dealing with and any other unknown threats that could be on this planet.
Well,
it'd be better without Valerie here since she likes to run her mouth, and the commissioner doesn't like that. I think it'd be easier for him to talk to me.
So I'm going to use Valerie to stay out of your hair. Excellent. Good. But now she's going to be in mine.
Not for long.
So as Yurg is saying that, all of the interns around him are like, they just get really quiet and are like, "Oh my god, yeah.
And
Sorry to be in your hair."
the workmanship of the saboteurs and looking at the rest of them, you may go about your business.
Oh, they snap. They snap away. They're like, they're not even typing anything, but they're just working at the keyboards.
And kind of walk away and kind of maybe even go off because we opened the door, right? Because that's where this other Inquisitor dropped.
Yeah.
I closed it after we dropped it off, but if you want to open it and have some fresh air, that's fine.
Yeah, I think I would need to do that. And
Could you
what
make a
happened to his
perception
light?
check against 3 purple?
Okay, because I was going to ask what happened to the lightsaber, but okay.
Oh, it went out. It went out with him.
Okay, so 3 purple. You said perception.
Kind of shot him in the head, and he had a death grip on it. I hate you. Take 2 strain. You see a flashing in Morse code coming from a small tree line down below you. It's like...
Okay.
And the ship is flying away from the tree line, by the way. Now that you guys aren't tethered, the ship is moving.
Wait. I thought we had landed.
Mm-mm. You guys were up in the air.
Oh crap! Never mind.
You guys were tethered, and you were like trying to get away.
So basically, I'm thinking that we did land. I opened the door because we would step out, and that's how I saw it. And I'm like, wait, whoa!
Stepped out and fell to your death.
We didn't land.
Yeah, and the fresh air is like. In fact, one of the interns is like, "Oh, they're finally reorganized these papers," and the wind goes. And he's just like.
One of the interns was.
Yeah, so a panic's going to happen with me, and I'm going to slam the door shut with whatever button I have to push, and run back to the cockpit because it's basically just hovering, and I better get in control of the controls to at least to the shuttle area. And
yeah, you run back into the cockpit, and the pilot's sitting there drinking some like Corellian coffee. He's like, can I help you? I'm headed straight to the horizon like you guys ordered.
Excellent. You go to the horizon. I'll get in the pilot's chair, and we'll still go somewhere else.
Where would you like to go? Because I'm not leaving the pilot seat. This is my shuttle, after all. He says sarcastic, or like confidently as he drinks.
It has been commandeered by the Republic fleet.
Well, I'm a civilian vessel, sir, and we don't acknowledge the Rebel Alliance, so don't know what to tell you.
Then why did you steal our ship in the first place?
Well, technically, this isn't really your ship. I mean, this was a shuttle that Valerie was given to transport off of Ansaria.
No. The other ship that was... Never mind. Guess where we landed previously. Do you remember where that is?
Oh, yeah. Of course, sir.
Then take us there.
He kind of looks puzzled, and he's like, all right. So he turns around and starts heading back. Krakaza, you come stepping out from the infirmary into the main room. Interns are like, what an asshole. And they're cleaning up papers as the pilot, you feel the ship turn. Your G-force kind of unsettles a little bit.
I put a hand out or an arm out to kind of stabilize myself against the wall. Still a bit shaky from waking up and the stim pack. And
yeah, I would say that you've only been asleep for like an hour or so. But you do feel better.
Yep, so I kind of shuffle my way over to the cockpit and kind of poke my head in.
Yeah, there's a pilot there who's looking straight ahead, who looks like he just got tongue lashed.
Do I see Yurg in there?
Yeah.
Oh, so are we here now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yurg,
Yeah,
what did I
you
miss?
see a very tired Yurg.
Holy crap, Yurg, you look like shit.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, but...
He's a piece of shit. The pilot's looking forward. The pilot's looking forward, like...
we are headed back to where we landed previously. We're going to be picking up Valerie, and we're supposed to be looking for the saboteur, but again, I can't return back to the ship without any good news, and I do not think that the saboteur is down here. And then I will say this very loudly, just because I am very tired. I've been hurt. I've been unhurt. Couple of battles, long time, and I just brought the whole ship to this whole area that I have no idea about. Unless the saboteur is on this ship, we will find out.
The interns pause for a moment and look at you, and then just continue going about their business. Krakaza, I need you to make a perception check versus 5 difficulty.
Second.
How? How? I quit! Alright, you take a strain. And you see flashing coming from the force line as the ship turns around through the window down at the bottom. You see Morse code.
Do I understand
flashing.
it?
Well, yeah, it's Morse code. You're in the military. You've been trained. And it says, contact made. Staying in brothel. Comms are safe. Contact made. Staying in brothel. Comms are safe. And it's just over and over.
I let out a little chuckle.
And Yurg, with your knowledge of Morse code, you would have been able to decipher that right away, I think. All right, so the ship turns around and starts heading for the landing pad. The taxi pulls up. Johnson steps out, opens the door, and reaches for Valerie's hand.
Okay, that's fine. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, so Valerie and Tittles comes out. And then that's when you see your shuttle, the red CSS shuttle, land. And the doors open.
All right. Are we on the same level? Did we fly up to the pad, or? Are we...
Yeah, he flew you up to the pad.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you kindly.
Oh, you're welcome. He's following.
Come on, Tittles. Let's get on board.
Yeah, so you, Tittles, and Johnson get on board. And all your interns look at you and they're like, Valerie, we're so glad you're back. And then as Yurg and Grakaza enter the room, they go silent, turn around, and leave. They like hang their heads down a little bit.
All right. She kind of walks past them to go to the pilot.
Yeah,
Corin's on his way.
that's where Yurg and Grakaza's coming from,
All right.
is the piloting cockpit.
All right, get us out of here. We have clearance to leave and get us over to the Folly because something obviously bad has gone down there with the commander.
Grakaza! I mean, sir! And this little taxi droid salutes you.
I'll let him very low growl.
Oh, Grakaza, Corin wants you to take care of him personally. And he needs you to check him out too.
I'm here to serve.
She's telling Yurg. So he would like you to really take care of him. Corin created him.
It's true. He found a body for me. Well, not one that used to be your friend, that is.
So, and she's going back to
I yell at the droid.
cockpit.
You yell at him, and he's just like, scary, sir. I love it.
So let's leave.
All the interns flinch. Yeah, Valerie, at your commands, the shuttle takes off and starts heading for the Folly. Now, before it takes off, Yurg and Grakaza, do you want to break orders and stay on the planet, or do you want to go with Valerie up into orbit?
I'm gonna go with Val because I don't know the status of what.
Right, because Corin asked you to take Valerie up, get her out of here.
Yeah,
and,
but technically we're not breaking any orders because the orders was to not return
no,
to
you're right.
Destiny Horizon.
Well, yeah, but this shuttle's headed for the Volley.
Yeah, and we're not returning to the Destiny Horizon.
Right. That's why I'm saying, do you want to break orders and stay behind on the Ring World? I'm giving you that option before.
Oh, to stay there.
Yeah.
No, I think it would just be. I kind of want to. I'm going to see if it works. If it doesn't work, then yeah. But what I want to do is pretend like I did go onto the ship. And what I want to do is start tailing Reed so that make sure he is safe. Wherever he goes, I want to kind of tail. And
all right, Grakaza, do you want to stay aboard with Valerie?
I'll stay aboard with Val. I mean, they didn't react too well when I stepped out the first time.
Good call.
Probably a good idea. That's right. Don't go.
I need you to roll a skullduggery versus 3 purple, because between Grakaza, Valerie, and the rest of the crew, it'll be pretty hard to pretend like you're on the ship but not be on the ship.
So say, don't go. They'll think you're like a ranker or something. They have pictures, people screaming and
I'm mute
running.
rancor.
Did the 8 men have a baby?
And so this is one of those skills that I have the setbacks to. Remember?
Yeah, and I was actually going to say part of the setback would be that everybody's pissed off at you. You know, I was going to add a setback, but I like all the interns. They're like, what a jerk. But I'll go ahead and that's why I was saying it's just straight up difficulty.
Okay. And I already used that.
Because right now, when they were talking to Val, they were like, ooh, we have so much to tell you. And then when you guys enter the room, they're like, well, later. So they're still kind of watching you. All right.
So I head up onto the ship.
Yeah,
because
so
it's too many eyes on me.
So you just... Well, actually, I don't know if you noticed that they caught you.
But they don't care.
It's kind of like you think you did a good job getting off the ship.
They want you to go.
Well, it would be more of Reed not seeing me, wouldn't it?
He's not here. He's back at the station.
That's why I'm saying if you just wanted to walk off the ship, that's fine. I thought you were trying to... That's my fault. I thought you were trying to make Grakaza and Valerie think that you're still on the ship.
Well...
She hasn't even noticed. She's talking to the pilot.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the other two because I know through the communications that I was supposed to, but I'm more worried about Reed's... Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I know he wants me to do that, but I know I can't really work in the saboteur unless I'm on Destiny Horizon.
So you got to fish for that good news so you can go back, basically.
Yeah, and right now I'm more worried about Lieutenant Reed and our workings beforehand. So I'm going to be his only ally with him here.
You know, I'm don't even worry about the skullduggery then, because there's so many people on this planet. You just kind of, in fact, nobody thinks you're weird. So when you walk out, they're just
the
like,
7-foot furball. I guess that's just what it is.
The really scary
Right.
7-foot furball with giant battle scars all over him and burned hair. Yeah, that's pretty freaking scary.
Hey, chicks with stars.
Instead of the 4'10" one.
Who doesn't have a giant shaved chest with a huge stapled wound across it?
That wasn't my fault. I didn't do a bad surgery job.
Yeah, but the doctor didn't stand in front of a lightsaber either. All right, so yeah, you could just leave. You didn't have to roll for that. We'll roll a stealth check later on if you really want to like keep track.
Okay.
But you also know with the con links, you can get a general idea on position if you track it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have that knowledge. Everybody else in the party, none of you can do that unless you roll a really hard computer check. But
Yep.
with his spy connections, it's a lot easier for Yurg to track people via comlink. So
That would make sense.
that's when you realize you need to flag a taxi and get down to where he's at.
Oh, it didn't stay? Could have just went in the one we had.
Well, you guys haven't taken off yet, so if you want to take Johnson with you, Yurg, you can.
He can help. He'll know where to go.
Plus, he can speak the language.
Honestly, I have no idea. Well, no. He talks too much, from what I've noticed, and he would give my location away. So no.
You guys are standing there in line, and he looks at the person next to him. He's like, "We're spies." No,
Exactly. All
I don't
need.
blame you. Yeah, so you just kind of take off, no problem. So it doesn't take you very long, but you find a place where there's public transportation loading up. There's a map that kind of shows all the nearby areas, and you kind of see the law enforcement headquarters and the bus number. You don't really understand the names, but the bus shows up. You step on it, and it kind of goes. You guys, Gurkaz and Valerie, the shuttle takes off and starts heading for orbit. Mr. Reed.
Yep.
Commissioner opens his eyes. You have a lot of questions, don't you? As you quietly approach him.
It's that obvious, huh?
He kind of smiles. What do you want to know?
These lenders that I'm going to be dealing with. Criminals?
No. Although there are criminal lenders, but we call them loan sharks.
Well, I think it'd be better for me to get the lay of the land, and who better to talk to than the commissioner of the law enforcement?
You remind me of somebody I used to know.
Hope that's a good thing.
It is. He was a young senator.
Well, I'm not much for politics, to be honest.
Neither was he. He was very charismatic, but he wasn't much for politics. He believed in the right thing to do, and sometimes that distorted his mind. And you see him, his eyes just kind of look down at the ground. He's the one who helped me.
How do you help you?
You know, he picked me up when I was down. Gave me a reason to get out there again, I guess you could say. When I left Coruscant, the only reason why I left with my head held high was because of him. Now, this is the point in time, if you're like lost on roleplay, or if you really want to dig more information out of him, you can roll the dice and give me a roleplay question, and then depending on how well you roll the dice, you know, you might break some of his walls down.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're trying to negotiate, you can roll negotiation. If you're trying to get information out of him politely, you could roll a diplomacy check. Or, I'm sorry, not diplomacy check. Discipline check. If you're willing to sit there and patiently wait through the conversation. You can roll skullduggery to get more information. You could roll leadership to kind of... You could also roll charm. Charm's probably the easiest way to do it, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'll try to charm him by pretty much saying telling him, you know, the past, there are good and bad things from it, but from all of that we learned from it, and you know, we learn to trust we learn to take a chance with some people, referring to Reed, to like
Okay.
to trust him a little bit.
Roll a charm against 3 purple.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Also, Yurg, I know this is a little meta, but do you want to pass on your advantage to him to give him a boost die? From your skullduggery. Oh, wait, that's right. That
There was no roll, remember?
Yep, never mind. I lied. Ignore me.
Yeah.
So you and him have a nice conversation, and he ends up slipping information on accident without realizing it. And he says, I never trusted Senator Organa when we first spoke, but turns out after the event he was quite helpful.
Oh, him? Okay. That's what I was thinking, but thought maybe someone else.
Now, Mr. Reed, this is huge to you.
Yeah.
You know who the Organas are.
But I also know, I would know that Senator Organa was most likely killed.
No.
From Alderaan.
No.
No?
Nope. You have
Okay.
no reason to know that in particular. You just know that...
That the Organas...
Actually, no. Senator Organa wasn't killed on Alderaan, because if you watch the original movies, he's on Yavin 4.
Okay.
And he thinks
So,
he's so glad to see Princess Leia and that she's doing okay.
Oh, that was supposed to be him?
Her dad. Yeah.
That was supposed to be her father? Oh, okay.
but I would know
it's
that
one of
the
those
Organas...
It's one of those stupid extended cuts that they put in, like the conversation with Biggs and stuff like that. So.
All right.
But I would know that they backed the rebellion, right?
Him and Mom Mothma pretty much formed the first alliance of planets. Yeah. And he was the last one on the Imperial. In fact, him and Princess Leia still, when A New Hope came up, they were on the Imperial Senate. So.
Okay, so yeah, I could.
So yeah, you know who he is.
Yeah.
You might go Bail Organa, but you know who Senator Organa is.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I'll say is like, Bail Organa, the senator for.
He stops. You know Bail?
Yeah, I'm part of the rebellion that he founded.
Wait a minute. Tell me more about this.
Over drinks.
You mean the Rebel Alliance?
Yeah, you said that he founded it.
Yeah, to overthrow the Emperor and Darth Vader.
I don't know Darth Vader, but I know the Emperor all too well. I heard his speech.
Yeah, I'll kind of look around and be like, is there a better place that we can sit down and talk? This
Yeah. You know what? I know a brothel nearby.
Okay.
I frequent there.
Sounds good. Lead the way, sir.
All right, so you come off the public transportation and you see that Reed and this gentleman's having a conversation on the steps, and then they turn around and they flag down a taxi.
All right, and wherever I can, kind of like from here and there, I'm actually grabbing articles of clothing to change my appearance in a different way, like a scarf here, a hat here.
Roll skullduggery.
All right.
I want you to do it against. I want you to do an average difficulty because this is a very. This is a very busy part of town, so I don't think too many people would notice. But roll skullduggery.
Okay, and what's the
2 difficulty?
2. Okay.
I feel like you're playing Hitman, but Star Wars edition.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta
You
realize.
just knock a guy out, throw him in a box, take his clothes. No, I'm just kidding.
I think that one's hot. Ooh, your pants will work. Let me have that shoe. I mean,
He's gonna grab a
Wow,
scarf from a
it's the
woman and be
same
like,
exact size I need.
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly. I mean,
oh,
I'm
look, another
short.
Bothan. What's that
I'm
Bothan doing?
I'm short.
"Big
All right.
bonnet hat." There we go.
Advantage. So, what I'm going to say is that it's not a good disguise. But the advantage is you did change your appearance, but you're wearing like pink sunglasses and you're wearing a bright green scarf and a sun hat and you've got a gentleman's coat on, and it really is things that you've just like with your training as a spy. When you were getting off the bus, you saw the jacket over somebody's chair and they were talking to a woman, smiling into their eyes, and you grabbed his coat and just continued onward, and you've pieced together this thing that looks like a very sassy businessman. So you definitely don't look like a Bothan, but that's the advantage, is you don't look like a Bothan. The fail is that you don't really blend in either.
Yeah, but it's not really the Bothan I was hiding. It's just more like grabbing from the uniform, showing the uniform for one.
Yeah, absolutely. If that was your goal, then you have covered it up.
Perfect.
Yep. So yeah, you come walking off the bus and you see them flagging down a taxi. How do you want to handle it? Oh, you're muted again.
Yeah, I just hit it right when I started talking, thinking I was unmuted. Okay, so kind of like follow the same thing that they're doing and let a taxi hit them, and if I can, look for an identifier.
Yeah, there's like a number on the back.
Perfect. And then as soon as I know they've gotten in, I can flag so that we're not, because that way their eye attention is not towards me because they're already going in. Now I can flag and make my weird gesture in case they would get
flag.
there.
A taxi pulls up and looks at you. The pilot frowns and then just drives away.
Okay. Then it says lots of money or whatever.
Yeah, you flag again and a robotic pilot comes up and he's like, "Dango Batan."
And I'll say follow him. And even though I'm hearing,
I can understand you, sir. Come on in. Follow him.
and I'll kind of say the identifier. I guess if there's a
Absolutely. He enters the pad and you see it like plots a course. He's like, "Is this an emergency, sir?"
not an emergency, just want to make sure they don't leave your sight.
Ah, I see. Nice disguise. I think I understand. Is it a wife of yours, sir? Is she with another man?
And I'll kind of look down. No, not to wife.
I think I absolutely understand. We'll keep good track of her, sir. And then the taxi goes, follows the other one. And the commissioner looks over to you, Mr. Reed. He's like, "We're being followed."
Reed's gonna kind of like put his head down but look back so it doesn't look that obvious.
You don't see anything. He goes,
Oh no.
They're covering their tracks well, but I can sense it.
Sense it.
And that is where we're going to take our second break.
He gave it away.
We'll come back for part 3.
He's slowly giving it
Very
away.
good, guys. Very good. Normally, episodes of intrigue and mystery aren't this entertaining, but thank you very much. When we get back, Valerie and her shuttle with Grakaz on it will be entering orbit towards the civilian ships next to the Destiny horizon. Yurg trails Karan as Karan is led to a brothel with a commissioner, and we're going to figure out what's going to happen there. So when we come back, we'll have lots of exciting stuff. Thank you, and tune in for the next episode. Bye!